Hi, I'm Deb Dedrick, certified high performance coach, new money story mentor, team Beachbody coach, and your expert guide to leading a happy life. And this is my co host, Nana.
Hi, everybody. Welcome again.
Yes, thank you, and welcome to Tip for the Day. On today's tip, how to keep going when you're frustrated, right?
Oh, yes.
You know what? I think we all struggle with frustration. It's a human emotion, and that's why we thought this would be a good topic to give you ideas on how to deal with it.
Yes, everybody gets frustrated one time or another.
Oh, it's so, so true.
Yes, human nature. Human nature.
And I think that's a good place to start. It is human nature to feel frustrated, but what has been kind of bred into us is to kind of shove our feelings aside. And it's our number one suggestion is to learn to listen to your intuition and tell yourself it's okay to feel frustrated.
And people get frustrated in different ways. It's not everybody gets frustrated in the same way. Everybody's different.
That's so true. And what do you mean by that?
Well, it just depends. Like with me, how long you've been married, or what you can do and what you can't do, and but just with various things on that.
Well, and I think what you meant was maybe people sense and feel frustration and act out in different ways.
And exactly. Yes, that's what I mean.
And it's okay because everybody's unique.
Everybody's unique and different, yes.
And what's going to frustrate you might not frustrate me.
There you go.
Does that make sense?
Definitely makes sense.
Well, that's what I thought you were getting at. And given in your circumstance, being married for as many years as you have,
yes.
Praise
the Lord. Yes.
I did that last time. I shouldn't have done it again. But, most people aren't able to manage being married that long. And I think that you should reward yourself and give thanks that you've been able to accomplish that in your life. That's a big deal. And I think that should be held up for acclaim. So that's just something I think about.
Well, there's different ways. Sometimes I could have just killed him out and out and, been all right, but we didn't.
That wouldn't make you the only wife to say
exactly.
that. Right? So
yes. I can't believe it's been this long. I just really can't.
They say when you first start young that life goes by so fast. And when you're young, I think you discount that thought. But as you get older,
it goes quicker.
It's like you say.
Oh, my, it goes very, very fast. You wake up Monday morning and the next day's Thursday.
I know. So we're going to refocus back onto our topic, how to keep going when you're frustrated. And after you acknowledge that you are feeling frustrated and give yourself the right and the okay to feel frustrated, the next step is to learn to think through the why. What is causing that sense of frustration? What circumstance, what thought, what relationship, what situation is responsible or are responsible for causing that frustration that you're feeling?
Well, there again, I think it's just everybody's individual. And if you're a couple, it's different types of frustration of all different things. So I can't really say there's just one kind of frustration.
It's so true.
There isn't.
It's so true. And I think that's a good point. And I think another point I would really like to underscore is learning to think through the why and not just shoving those feelings of frustration out of your consciousness. And
yes.
hoping they're just going to go away.
No, they don't.
They won't.
No.
And the third thing is, after you've defined your why, get a pad and paper out or whatever it is for you. You could record yourself on your cell phone in this day and age. But think through the why and then write down 3 to 5 alternative solutions, behaviors that you could use to approach the situation from a new and
different angle.
Because that was one of the biggest reasons I became a coach is because after 27 years of being married, that caused my behavior to situations was always the same repetitive behavior, both at home and both at work. And I don't know why I didn't think through all those situations that were upsetting me. And
But you never do at the time.
I know,
You never do at the
but
time.
how that makes so much sense to approach a problem from different
Oh,
angles
true. Yeah.
and to try more than one solution. I mean, anybody that has a brain would, you would think that through. Well, I did not think it through. I just kept a creature of habit. We're all habit
We're all
based.
creature of habits.
Have you
yes.
done that too, Nana?
Oh, of course I have. Yes, I think everybody has.
So we're not going to beat ourselves up
No,
for it.
no, not one thing. No.
But that's our point as your expert guides to leading a happy life, is to maybe give you some ways of looking at things differently so you can apply these in your day-to-day life and avoid some of the potholes that we kind of stumbled into and fell down and really ended up hurting ourselves,
Yeah,
our loved ones,
yes.
our family, our friends, our work co-workers. I mean, when you have a problem that affects you and it breaks up relationships, it doesn't just affect you. It ripples out like on a pond.
yes.
It ripples out and it affects many, many, many people. So learning to deal with these in a productive
Positive
way,
Yes.
it's so much more meaningful to defining the quality of your life.
Yeah.
And so that brings me to the next one. The number 4 tip is learn that life is not easy.
Oh, no, no.
Why does everybody think that every relationship is not going to have an argument? I know nobody.
No, they'll be crazy if they do, because it's not just human nature. And no.
To expect that life is easy, if you look back over the course of history,
Oh, yes.
I think we're probably living in the easiest times right now than compared to 2,000 years ago
Oh,
when
my goodness. Yes.
there was no refrigeration and no doctors and no medicine. I mean, learning to reframe that life is not always easy. It's not going to be easy. And frustration often pushes us to the next
to the
level.
next level. Yeah.
If you're frustrated enough, you might try alternative solutions or behaviors or practices where you can shift the situation.
Yeah.
And
Yes. Make it a little different.
don't you agree?
Yes. I do on that one. Yeah.
And what would your feedback be at your age, looking back over, because we couldn't forget the age card? What would your opinion be on life and the best way for people to handle frustration of life? Because frustrations at 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s might be something completely different depending on age.
Well, there again, I know you don't like me to mention it, but age does have a thing to do with it. And it's just like now when I tell people, if I never cooked again, I wouldn't care. In fact, if somebody knocked at my door at 5 o'clock in the evening and said, "Here's your supper," I'd say, "How much?" And it wouldn't bother me in the least. I wouldn't get the least bit
Hey,
frustrated.
let's do a high five on that. I'm totally in with you on that.
Yes.
I totally would
I've
love
done
that.
enough cooking in my
Let's
life.
not forget somebody that will help maybe do our laundry. Yeah.
Well, I don't mind that because
Well, you don't have. Don't go there, okay? I don't want to know that.
Okay.
But I don't want to know that. But what for me, I still have like all this laundry, towels. People living at home, and
Yes,
and
I don't
you're-
have that.
so anyway. So back to you. So any more feedback? Because I think it's important. Issues in life that affect you in your 20s and 30s that cause frustration are not the same issues that Nana would be facing in her 80s.
Oh, no, by no means. No, by no means.
And that's okay.
Mhm.
Like I say, if life was always easy, it would be so boring,
Of course it would. Of course it would.
right? And we want our life to be.
And we're all just human, just human.
And I love that thing that my coach says, when you get to the end of your life and you look back, what are you going to reflect on? What's going to mean the most to you? And for me, the answer is always, it's my relationships with my loved ones.
Oh, me too. I'm going to say that would be with me and my children and my grandchildren. I just love them all.
And so remember to keep going when you're frustrated in your relationships.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
And reframe maybe how you behave to make sure that you treat them the best.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that concludes our tip for the day. Let's go back over it real quickly. It's listening to your inner voice of intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Don't deny that you're feeling frustrated and set it off to the side. because what? It's not going to go away, right,
No,
Nana?
definitely won't go away. No.
And number two, think through why you're feeling frustrated and what is causing or who is causing the frustration. Thirdly, write down 3 or 5, or use your cell phone to practice, solutions. Because as you memorize your solutions, your rehearsed scripted responses, that makes you a lot more confident and less emotional
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
handle those head on. Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
Because usually, and I just did this the other day in one of my group meetings, I rehearsed my response over and over and over again, but then I got nervous and I was like, bleh. I just could not get the words out, and I was so embarrassed. And the more embarrassed I got, the worse I failed.
More frustrated.
The more frustrated, and everybody's staring at me, and they all know that I have no problem talking, as you guys are well aware of. It was just that I let that emotion get going.
The better of you, yes.
It was kind of funny, actually, and it's just nobody's perfect. And number 4,
No way.
nobody's
No,
perfect right now.
Nobody's perfect. No.
Give yourself a break. Right? And remember, life is not easy, and it's frustration and circumstances with our relationships and our work life that usually propel us to try new things to create lasting changes.
Yeah.
So that's just going back over. Any final parting words?
I don't think so. I think we've set enough on that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Nana.
You're
and
welcome.
thank you, everybody, for joining us and joining us on Tips